Salman Al-Farisi radiallahu anhu was not born in Arabia. He came from Persia, from a place near Isfahan. His father was a respected man among his people and was deeply devoted to their religion. Salman's radiallahu anhu father was so protective of him that he kept him close to home and gave him responsibility for maintaining the sacred fire that they worshipped. Salman radiallahu anhu grew up following the religion of his family. But one day, his father sent him out on an errand. While traveling, Salman Al-Farisi radiallahu anhu passed by a Christian church. He heard the people inside praying. He was curious because their worship was different from what he knew. He entered and watched them. He was impressed by their worship and wanted to understand their religion. When he returned home, his father asked where he had been. Salman radiallahu anhu told him that he had found people following another religion and that their worship seemed better than what he had known. His father became worried. He was afraid that his son would leave the religion of his ancestors. He locked Salman al-Farisi radiallahu anhu inside the house. But Salman radiallahu anhu was determined to continue searching for the truth. He managed to escape and travel to Syria, which was one of the major centers of Christianity at that time. There he found a Christian religious scholar and asked him to stay with him and learn from him. Salman radiallahu anhu soon discovered that this man was corrupt. He collected charity from people but kept it for himself instead of giving it to the poor. After the man's death, Salman radiallahu anhu exposed what he had done. The people were shocked when they discovered the hidden wealth. Another religious man took his place. Salman radiallahu anhu stayed with him and continued learning. The man was different. He lived simply, worshipped Allah, and encouraged Salman radiallahu anhu to remain devoted. When the man was close to death, Salman radiallahu anhu asked him where he should go next. The man told him that there was no one left whom he knew to be following the same path. But he gave Salman radiallahu anhu important information. He told him that a prophet would soon appear in Arabia. This prophet would be sent with the religion of Ibrahim alayhi salam. He would migrate from his homeland to a place between two areas covered with black volcanic stones. There would be palm trees there. The man also told Salman radiallahu anhu that this prophet would accept gifts but would not consume charity, and there would be a sign between his shoulders. Salman radiallahu anhu remembered every detail. After the man's death, Salman al-Farisi radiallahu anhu continued traveling. He went from one religious teacher to another, always searching for someone who could guide him. Eventually, Salman radiallahu anhu met a man who told him to travel to Arabia. Salman al-Farisi trusted him. He paid some Arab travelers to take him there, but on the journey they betrayed him. They sold him as a slave. Salman's radiallahu anhu long search had now brought him into slavery. He was taken to Madinah. When Salman radiallahu anhu saw the palm trees and the land around the city, he immediately remembered the description he had been given. But he was still a slave and could not simply go wherever he wanted. Then one day, Salman al-Farisi radiallahu anhu heard that a man in Madinah was claiming to be a prophet. Salman radiallahu anhu went to investigate. He took some food and presented it to Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam as a charity. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam did not eat from it. Salman noticed this. Later, Salman radiallahu anhu bought another gift. This time the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam accepted it and ate from it. Salman radiallahu anhu then looked carefully for the final sign. When he saw the mark between the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam's shoulder, he knew the man he had spent years searching for had finally appeared. Salman radiallahu anhu accepted Islam, but his journey was not yet finished. He was still a slave. He could not freely join the Muslims or participate in the life of the growing Muslim community. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam helped him obtain his freedom. Salman radiallahu anhu agreed to plant a specified number of palm trees and provide a quantity of gold as payment for his freedom. The companions radiallahu anhuma helped him. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam himself planted the palm trees. One by one the trees grew. Salman radiallahu anhu eventually paid what was required and became a free man. After years of traveling, imprisonment and slavery, Salman radiallahu anhu was finally free, and he was now a Muslim living beside the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. His journey from Persia had taken him through Syria and many different lands. He had served under religious teachers. He had been deceived. He had been sold into slavery, but he never stopped searching, and eventually his search brought him to Madinah and to the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. But Salman radiallahu anhu would soon become far more than a new Muslim. He would play an important role in one of the greatest battles ever fought in Medina. After Salman Al-Farisi radiallahu anhu gained his freedom, he became a close companion of the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He participated in the Muslim community and remained with the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam through the difficult years in Medina. His most famous contribution came during the Battle of the Trench, Ghazwat al-Khandaq. In the 5th year after the Hijrah, a large alliance of Arab tribes gathered to attack Medina. The Muslims were heavily outnumbered. The people of Medina had faced enemies before, but this time the danger was different. The attacking armies could approach the city from the open land around it. The Muslims needed a defensive strategy. Salman radiallahu anhu knew a method used in Persia that was unfamiliar to the Arabs. He suggested digging a large trench around the exposed side of Medina. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam accepted the idea. The Muslims began digging. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam worked alongside them. The trench was difficult to dig, especially because the ground contained hard rocks. The companions worked despite hunger and exhaustion. Salman radiallahu anhu was among those digging. Because of his strength and experience, the companions recognized his contribution. The trench was completed before the enemy could reach the city. When the allied army arrived, they were surprised. They had expected to attack Medina directly. Instead, they found a trench blocking their path. They could not easily cross it with their horses or soldiers. The siege continued. The Muslims remained inside Medina while the enemy forces waited outside. Food became scarce. Fear spread among the people. The Qur'an describes the situation as a severe test for the believers. The Prophet ﷺ and his companions continued defending the city. During the siege, several attempts were made by the enemy to cross the trench. One of the most famous incidents, Amr bin Abdul Wud, who managed to cross the trench and challenge the Muslims. The situation was extremely dangerous. The Muslims eventually confronted him and he was killed. The trench prevented the large enemy army from using its number effectively. Eventually, the siege began to weaken. The alliance that had gathered against Medina could not achieve its objective. The wealthier became severe, and strong winds struck the camp of the enemy. Their tents were damaged, their fires were extinguished, and their situation became increasingly difficult. The allied forces eventually withdrew. Medina had survived. Salman's radiallahu anhu idea had played an important role in the city's defense. After the Battle of Trench, Salman Al-Farisi radiallahu anhu continued living among the companions. He became known not only for his long search for the truth, but also for his knowledge and wisdom. Salman radiallahu anhu eventually became ill. As his death approached, his visitors saw him preparing for the end of his life. He had lived a remarkable journey. He had begun life in Persia. He had searched through the different lands for truth. He had served religious teachers. He had been betrayed and sold into slavery. He had eventually reached Medina. There he had recognized the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam and accepted Islam. Salman Al-Farisi radiallahu anhu died after a life that had taken him across countries, religions, hardship, slavery, freedom, and finally Islam. His story is one of the most remarkable journeys among the companions. He was born far from Arabia, but his search for the truth eventually brought him to the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and the man who once traveled from place to place searching for guidance became one of the companions whose knowledge and advice helped shape the Muslim community.